We've been doing this for 35 years now. I've always been a record nerd since I was a kid. Grew up with records, and by the time I was in my 20s, and I was always buying records to learn songs for the band. And at some point, I just decided that, you know what, I think I could do this, and I could save a whole lot of money on buying records if I had my own place and people were bringing records in.
I have been here for 31 years off and on, mostly part-time. So we started on Kingston Pike in 1990, a really tiny store, moved to another store right next door, and then another store right next door to that, and then we moved to Cumberland, and then we closed down for a couple of years when eBay and Napster started just killing the music business, the physical music business. And then Maria decided to open up about 3 or 4 years later, reopened, and she opened across the street here. And then we found this house and been here ever since.
Before we moved over here, this place was a condemned house that was going to be torn down and used for a parking lot. Long story short, they agreed to let us come over here and renovate this house for our record store, and it literally was on the brink of falling down. So to me, that's the craziest thing, that we were able to come in and renovate this thing, and it's just, it's just become like a huge deal for the community and for everybody involved. When we opened up, like every weekend, people would just bombard us with their record collections. In the last 10 years, vinyl has really come into its own from the way it was back in the 70s and early 80s.
Physical media is always going to be around. I think kids nowadays, we're selling a lot of CDs. Instead of, we've sold mostly vinyl over the last few years, but now we're selling a lot of CDs because I think it's certainly cheaper. And I think that people just want the physical media. I think they're tired of streaming and giving their money to these, billionaire autocrats,
Support the local stores.
And they want to support the local stores, I think so, yeah.
If you're a true listener, connoisseur of music, you want to sit down and put that record on and listen to it in the best possible way that you can,
I grew up going there. My mom used to take me there a lot whenever I was a kid.
So we met actually at a tattoo shop that I was apprenticing at the time. It has since closed down, but she came to get a tattoo, and the guy I was working for, he set us up. We went on a date. We never met each other, lived an hour apart, and we've been together ever since. Yeah, and then she took me, and I just got into collecting records. My dad had a whole collection, and she showed me. It was great. After leaving Lost and Found, we went to a parking lot, and then I officially asked her out.
And what did you say to that?
I guess.
My favorite thing to do is to go through the collections when people bring them in, and I'm the guy that values the collections and decides if something we can use, and I get to see tons of records, and that's my favorite thing about this whole deal. If we go by what's happened over the last 10 years, I see vinyl still continuing to grow. I think it's going to be the biggest format. I mean, it's already taken over CDs, but I just see it continuing to grow and get better.
The Super Bowl, the Grammys, they always bring new customers in looking for vinyl or CDs from those things. Some of the, like Stranger Things, anything that can be like a phenomenon like that will really drive, customers coming in. Buy what you love. This is my first bit of advice. Don't buy to collect. Don't buy for future value, whatever. Just buy what you love. I would start with used stuff because it's a lot cheaper and you're not going to love everything. So that would be my most valuable advice, I would say.
I think we have a really good music community in this area, and I think it just continues to grow.